Tonight on News 5 Live, it's the eve of the Briceño administration's second budget debate. We'll tell you what you can expect from the PUP government. The Prime Minister aims squarely at a fellow parliamentarian for numerous absences from the House. Belize prepares for a second visit from the Taiwanese president. And BSI responds to leaked information on non-compliance in audit report. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
Live your best life and explore more with Samsung. Go on an adventure, travel in style, and capture your memories with a Galaxy. This month, Samsung phones start at an extremely low price of only $309, and Galaxy Tab start at only $399. The full Galaxy lineup includes the A03, A04, A23, A33, A53, S20 FE, Z Flip, Z Fold 4, Tab A7, and the latest and most innovative release, the S23 series. Perfect for capturing all of life's adventures. Plus, when you buy any A-series device, you'll get a free 32GB SD card. Shop these awesome devices at any of Samsung's authorized resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Quartz, and Odette's Home Center and get 1 year local warranty with your purchase. So venture out and explore more with Samsung.
Join us for an engaging and inspiring service from Sagebrush Church that the whole family will love. Each week, you will have the opportunity to take part in amazing worship and learn how you can make your personal relationship with God a priority. Watch us on TV, stream us online, or visit us in person at one of our 8 physical locations. Go to sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app to find locations and times to watch.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Madisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, March 21st. I am Sabrina Daly. Prime Minister John Briceño returned from Panama earlier today, where he attended a round of meetings with governors of the Inter-American Development Bank. We'll have more on that working visit elsewhere in our newscast. But the PM's arrival is in time for a series of debates that will be held in Parliament beginning on Wednesday. The annual budget debate has, for the first time, been extended to a 3-day session to accommodate all government ministers, as well as area representatives and opposition parliamentarians. While the Prime Minister shared with us what can be expected in the coming days, he also took aim at the opposition in particular, one area representative whose record of attendance has been less than stellar. We begin tonight with a look at what's to come tomorrow.
For the first time, we have decided to have a 3-day debate. I think it's when you have 2 days, you are in a hurry. And many times we're asking ministers to be able to try to keep it down to 15 minutes. And then we go on till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's not fair to the ministers who would like to point out, to address the nation as to their accomplishments, the work that they have, and what they expect to do in the coming year. And also to our Belizean citizens that we are making important decisions at 1 o'clock in the morning. So we felt that if we could set it up over 3 days, and so give everyone an opportunity to be able to speak. Not only the ministers and of course the 5 members of the opposition. Well, I think it's going to be definitely no more than 4, maybe less, who knows. You can never tell with these people. But to be able to give even our representatives a chance to be able to say, to speak to their constituents and say, listen, over the past year, these are the projects that I did, this is the work that I did, and this is what I expect and intend to do the next year. As to the opposition, well, we know that there's a member that has been, I don't think that member has attended if you put the 2 or 3 times that she has attended meetings since November of 2020, you put the time together, that would still not be enough for one house meeting, and I think it's shameful, and the leader of the opposition should do something about it. The UDP should do something about it, because that person was elected to represent the people, and to represent the people not walking around Belize City, but also to go in the house and to defend and speak on behalf of these people. So I expect it's going to be a respectful debate. I've said to our colleagues, it's best to just ignore the opposition when they're just making noise, and I've made the point now that whenever one person in particular who likes to interrupt me, I've decided that I'm just going to ignore that person and just let the speaker deal with that.
Opposition leader Shaim Barrow has also signaled that he will be presenting a budget of his own, as well as recommendations where government should tighten up or increase on its expenditure. But how will his mock financial plan be received by his peers on the other side of the floor? That's a wait and see. Nonetheless, we asked the Prime Minister earlier today for an initial response to the notion of a budget presentation by the leader of the opposition.
The leader of the opposition has indicated that he will present his own iteration of what a budget should look like in terms of dealing with the finances of the country. You haven't seen it, the country hasn't seen or heard it yet, but what is your preliminary take on something like that?
He could present anything. Nothing surprises me from the leader of the opposition. I think he is still desperate, trying to grasping at straws to keep his political life or as leader alive. So I guess he'll try to do anything to be able to try to get some kind of attention, but that's his right. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, then he can proceed. But I'm sure that many of the things that he's going to say they don't make sense. Like when he's talking about free education. Education is a fundamental right of every child in this country, and we need to make it as best as possible to ensure that our children are in school. Many of these children, their parents can't afford to take out loans to send their children to school. And so I believe that as a government, we have not only a legal responsibility, but even morally, we have to be able to do something to keep our kids in school.
Chief Executive Officer Marconi Leal Jr. remains on personal leave after taking time off from the Ministry of Transport, Youth and Sports, where he is serving under Minister Rodwell Ferguson. We have been reporting that CEO and his political boss have been at loggerheads on a number of issues regarding the administration of that ministry. News 5 understands that Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie is responsible for resolving the situation amicably, with the likelihood of a transfer for CEO Leal to another government department. News 5 spoke with Prime Minister Briceño earlier, and while he has not been apprised of the latest developments, confirmed that CEO Leal is indeed on a leave of absence from the Ministry of Transport.
First of all, I've not gotten my briefing from the Cabinet Secretary. He's the one that's dealing directly with it. But like in every relationship, you know, a minister and a CEO, we need to find a way where there's both of them can work together and that both of them can move in the same direction. We know it is the minister that sets policy, and the CEO look forward towards the implementation of the policy. And then there's the issue of management styles. So whilst I've been hearing that there have been some sort of disagreements between both of them, it has never been a personal disagreement with one another. It's simply, I guess, in management styles. And so I will wait until I get the full briefing from the CabSec before I could really give you more. But what I can tell you that CEO Marconi Leal is still employed by the government, and he has taken personal leave.
Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen is returning to Belize for a second time during her 2 terms in office. The government of Belize announced this morning that the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, will be heading a delegation to Belize in early April. She will meet with Prime Minister John Briceño, Cabinet, as well as other members of Parliament. She will also deliver an address at a joint sitting of Parliament. Of note is that President Tsai Ing-wen's visit comes on the heels of Honduras's recent announcement that it will become an ally of mainland China.
We're quite excited about President Tsai visiting Belize for the second time. In my trip in Panama, I did meet also with representatives from Taiwan, talking to them about the cooperation that we have, the friendship that we have between Belize and Taiwan, and making the very point that we gained our independence because we're given the right to self-determination. And likewise, we believe that the Taiwanese people should be given that opportunity to have that right to self-determination. By every metric that you take, Taiwan meets the criteria to be considered a country. So now with the president coming to Belize, I think it just helps to strengthen that relationship that we have, that friendship that we have, that support for one another. We give them support, they give us support in so many different ways. And so we are happy that she's coming. And I'm sure that most for Belizean citizens are also exciting and looking forward to be able to get a glimpse of the president here with her delegation in Belize.
As we mentioned earlier, Prime Minister John Briceño and his delegation returned to Belize this afternoon, following a working visit to Panama, where he met high-level officials from the IDB. During that visit, PM Briceño took the opportunity to present Belize's perspective regarding its classification as a middle-income country. Here's more from the Prime Minister.
The last in-person governors meeting the IDB had was in 2019. And since the pandemic in 2020 and leading to 21 and even 2022, they were just having Zoom meetings. So it's the first in-person meeting. Also, this is the first meeting of the new president, Ilan Golfan, a Brazilian banker who now has taken over the helm of the IDB. For me, it was important as the governor of the of Belize, representing Belize in the at the IDB to be at this meeting, basically to first of all to listen what is the vision of the new president of the IDB, but also to be able to put Belize's perspective as a small country, and the concern that we are constantly mentioning that in many instances the IFIs look at Belize as a upper medium or an upper middle income country, and when it's really looking just at the numbers, it may be so, but the reality on the ground is that it is not like that. We are a relatively poor country because we have big challenges. It requires a lot of money, and that is why we are saying that we need to be considered, to be given consideration to get concessionary funding. Concessionary funding that goes like around 2% interest rates and monies that you can pay probably in 30 years or more. And that can give us the opportunity to invest, to develop, and then be able to collect the taxes to pay these loans. They hear us, they listen to us, and they're starting to see what we're talking about.
Coming up, Charles Herbert charged 7 months after allegedly stabbing his brother. Find out the details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut off the kingdom of God from people." I conducted the funeral service for one of my dearest friends at the age of 62 who died of melanoma cancer. A small bump appeared on his neck, and then, less than 6 months, he was dead. For 28 years, I could not get him to go to church because he thought too many Christians were hypocrites. You know, Mike was right. There are too many hypocrites in the church. As far as I'm concerned, one would be too many. Hypocrisy in the church is not a new issue, however. Jesus dealt with the hypocrites in Matthew 23 as he says, "Woe to you, hypocrites," and he singles out their sins. Jesus rebuked them because they were hindering people from entering into his kingdom. You know, Mike's problem was not really one about hypocrisy, but about validity. The question is, does the hypocrites in the church invalidate the gospel message? Of course not. What then does validate Christianity? The answer is simple. The validity of Christianity is not based on imperfect Christians, but on the perfect Christ, who was tempted in all points as we are, and yet without sin. When faced with death, Mike did not look to the hypocrites, but to Jesus Christ, who received him with open arms into his forever family. He will do the same for all who come to him by faith. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
At Brothers Habet and Habet, we are proud to support and celebrate Women's Month. This year, the theme is Embracing Equity, and we believe that everyone deserves equal opportunity and access to the tools they need to make their dreams a reality. That's why, for the entire month of March, we are offering all women a special 15% discount on all products store-wide. Whether you're a professional, a DIY enthusiast, or just looking to tackle a home improvement project, we have everything you need to get the job done. So come on down to Habet and Brothers Habet and embrace equity. Let's work together to break down barriers and empower all women to build a brighter future. From all of us at Brothers Habet and Habet, Happy Women's Month.
This Friday at the FFB Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambokan, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Madisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. With RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a road group company.
My cabinet colleagues and I realize that we cannot reverse the prevalence of poverty overnight. But our policies and this budget reflects a passionate determination to hasten that reversal. The free secondary school education program is being funded to the tune of $6.4 million, providing support to 2,600 students who otherwise not be in the classroom.
The Belize Sugar Industries Limited today responded to information that has been leaked on its non-compliance, which was flagged in an audit report, and subsequent suspension of its fair trade certification. In a press release issued today, BSI states that the information pertaining to the recent audit was misleading. The factory said it was notified on March 7th that following the audit done in January 4, non-compliances were identified, including one major non-compliance, and those have led to a suspension of its fair trade certification. BSI explained, quote, "The major non-compliance which led to the suspension relates to a change in classification of BSI in the FlowCert system, of which we were not aware, and which confers additional obligations relating to our communication with our customers. The other non-compliances also relate to technical matters that do not affect the flow of fair trade eligible sugar to our customers or affect the payment of premium from our customers to eligible fair trade associations," unquote. It's all a technical issue, according to the factory, one that the auditors flagged instead of asking for clarity on an issue. BSI says it has already submitted corrective measures to FlowCert for all its non-compliances and that it expects that the suspension will be lifted shortly. A Belize City man is facing an attempted murder charge after he allegedly stabbed his own brother. 41-year-old Charles Herbert is accused of stabbing Ruben Herbert on August 20th, 2022 in Belize City. Following the incident, a wanted poster was issued for Charles Herbert's arrest. Today, some 7 months later, he appeared unrepresented before Acting Chief Magistrate Tricia Pitts-Anderson, where he was read 3 charges. Those charges are attempted murder, use of deadly means of harm, and dangerous harm. No plea was taken from him, and due to the nature of the offenses, he was denied bail and remanded into custody at the Belize Central Prison until June 21st. On Monday, we told you about the road traffic accident in Ladyville that claimed the life of 22-year-old Joshua Martinez. As we reported, 52-year-old Manuel Ramos was slapped with a slew of charges in connection with the incident, including 1 count of manslaughter by negligence, 1 count of causing death by careless conduct, 1 count of drove motor vehicle without due care and attention, 1 count of drove motor vehicle with alcohol concentration above the prescribed limit, and 1 count of negligent harm for causing injuries by Tyreek Usher. Ramos was arraigned today before Senior Magistrate Baha Shoman. No plea was taken from Ramos as the charges are being dealt with on indictment. There was no objection to bail being granted, so Senior Magistrate Shoman granted him bail in the sum of $5,000 plus one surety or two sureties of $2,500 each. He was also ordered to stay away from the prosecution and other witnesses. Ramos was also ordered to report to the Ladyville Police Station once a week. His next court date is set for May 22nd. As we have been reporting, an assessment has been done on major bridges in Belize City, and the reality is that the Swing Bridge and the Belcan Bridge need to be replaced sooner rather than later. The replacement of these bridges is being included in a loan for the rehabilitation project for the George Price Highway. In a recent interview with News 5, Minister of Infrastructure Development and Housing Julius Espat says that outside of those main bridges and the upgrade of the highway, hundreds of wooden bridges have already been replaced with concrete crossings.
You guys are aware of the main bridges? Yeah. Halova, Belcan, Bel China, Swing Bridge. We are aware of the hundreds. We have a program where we are trying to change all the old wooden bridges to concrete bridges. Because once we do it, that's 20, 30 years, you don't have to worry about it. We are in the process of doing that in the rural areas. We are presently in communication with CDB right now. We had a meeting with our technical staff, CEO and the chief engineer with CDB to look at we had a feasibility study done for the Belmopan to Belize City or Belize City to Belmopan, depending where you're coming out from. That project includes the Swing Bridge and the Belcan. We have gone out to seek financing from other lending institutions, but CDB, it's like family to us. We are them, they're us. And they're interested. And they're saying, come on guys, let's sit down. It's a project that we want to help finance. They helped it with the coastal. They are presently doing the majority of the financing for the Remate, the Northern Highway. And that is a very, very important project for the country of Belize. You guys travel that highway, you know how dangerous it is. So what does it accomplish if we achieve it? One, the replacement of the two bridges, which is Swing Bridge and Belcan, which are in a state of deterioration structurally that it's a shame. We have to deal with it. The flood mitigation of the city. The road will do drainage in the Cisco area, where Cisco has Old Belize, in the Hattieville area, to be able to. There was an IDB study that recommended that we divert the water coming out from the Belize River and the other estuaries before it reaches Belize City through the Burton Canal. And so that is a part of the project. So two, flood mitigation. And three, we are elevating the road to what we call, this is a technical engineering term, climate resilience. As an engineer, I love use it, and I've learned to use it because it's important. It just means that we have to raise the level of the road to make sure that it can withstand more rains, more floods, and safety.
Minister Espat says that the project will cost about $50 to $80 million. If you are traveling into Belize City via the Philip Gosen Highway, you would have noticed that there are diversions between the roundabouts at Benny's Apartments compound and the Hullover Bridge as road work is underway. Minister Julius Espat shares comments about the temporary fix to the perennial warping of the highway.
Halova is on schedule. By ending of this year, it should be completed. I would give it maybe sometime in January, but it should be completed in December. The rehabilitation of the approach from Benny's to there is a temporary fix. I just want people to be aware. That project needs a causeway. So we have to pile from the roundabout. We are piling the roundabout right now, so that will be like in preparation for the full project. But that is an expensive proposal to pile from that roundabout to Halova, but it has to be done. And so what we are doing right now is a temporary, I wouldn't call it one band-aid. It is what has been done before, but a little bit more compaction, and it should last us maybe 3 to 4 years until we get the financing for the full project, and then that would be complete. A causeway doesn't mean that it's elevate it high up. It just means that it will, the foundation will come from the ground, from the bedrock, built on piles, and so it will be able to withstand its own weight without having to depend on the resistance of the ground. That area is hundreds, some people, it varies on who you speak to, hundreds of feet of peat. Throughout the years, it's just organic material that rots and constant.
That's why war.
Yeah, it is a problem. Some people say there is a stream, but it doesn't really matter. What happens is that you can't depend on the ground to give you the resistance necessary to put the road.
After the break, Maya Culture Belize, promoting ancient culture through technology. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Madisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
Electricity is an essential part of our daily lives. We use lights and household appliances every day. Therefore, we must ensure our homes are wired properly. At Benny's, we have certified wires with the right gauges and insulation. BEL certified meter sockets, authentic GE and Square D panel boxes and breakers, which protect the wires inside your home from being overloaded. When wiring your home, avoid imitation brands which can be very dangerous. Give yourself and your family peace of mind using genuine electrical products available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we'll do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
The ancient Mayan civilization is considered to be among the top 6 earliest civilizations in the world. The Maya territory in Belize is said to have supported an estimated population of 1 to 2 million people, and larger cities such as Shenantonich, Caracol, and Lamanai. A lot has changed over millennia. But many of the cultural practices and traditions from these early days have withstood the test of time. To ensure that the ways of the Maya people thrive in a modern era, one cultural activist is merging the lessons learned from the ancient practices of his ancestors with modern technology through the Maya Culture Belize Facebook page. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Researchers believe that the ancient Mayan civilization began around 2600 BC and lasted for more than 2,000 years. During that period, they established numerous cities and states across most of Guatemala and Belize, as well as parts of Mexico, Honduras, and El Salvador. In Belize, numerous Mayan temples have been discovered and a number of artifacts have been unearthed from within them, each telling its own story of this once thriving ancient civilization. Today, the rich cultural and traditional legacies of the indigenous community are still being celebrated by the Yucatec, Mopan, and Quechua Mayans who migrated from Guatemala and Mexico to Belize in the 18th and 19th centuries. Taking awareness and preservation a step farther, Juan Caal, a cultural activist, has taken full advantage of social media as a tool to spread awareness about his culture and people.
The page started around 2012. I cannot say exactly right at the top of my head, but around 2012, 2013. The idea was about at that time when we ventured into this new era of social media technology. And we saw the need, along with Ms. Zenia Shaw, who also created the page, on how we can take advantage of technology and social media to continue to promote our identity as Maya people.
Maya Culture Belize currently has 13,000 likes and close to 18,000 followers on Facebook. The page features everything one may need to know about today's Mayan culture, from the traditional foods made from recipes passed down through generations, to cultural attire, traditional languages, music and dances.
We realize that there is a generational gaps when it comes to the younger generation to be able to identify themselves with our culture. We have many young people who cannot speak our language, who are unable to even understand our traditions. And so we saw the need that we can take advantage of technology to be able to educate and reconnect back this younger generation and all generations to our Maya culture.
Caal and his team recently participated in the 2023 Maya Day celebrations held in Blue Creek, Toledo. Maya Day presented an opportunity for all Belizeans to celebrate Mayan traditions and culture in the 21st century.
This is an affirmation that we are alive, we matter. We're not just celebrating, the past, the ancient civilizations. There are living Maya today, and our culture, of course, is not static. It changes, it's dynamic. We keep up with the times. We are Maya even in contemporary times.
Today, the Maya people of Belize no longer dwell in temples. The young are moving out of their traditional communities to seek employment in urban communities and to further their education. Technological advancements are now playing key roles in education and energy in several of these traditional rural communities. So, a lot has changed, but Caal sees modernization as an opportunity to advance Maya culture and not a threat to its existence.
I think when we come to a realization that nothing can threaten us if we allow it to. It is how we carry out ourselves. It is how we continue to embrace identity while still living among this modern society. Like I said, I am a Maya. I can be able to work in the immigration department, but it doesn't mean I will forget who I am. That doesn't mean I will forget my value as a person and where I come from. My grandfather inculcated in me that for you to know where you're going, you must know where you come from. And it is very important for this younger generation to realize that wherever you're going, your path, you must know where you came from in order for you to know what path you want to take in this life.
And I think it's always important to recognize that in order to know how you are going to go, what new routes you're going to take, you cannot go on those new routes if you're not grounded, right? In order to be rerouted, you have to be rooted.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Rugby Belize will be hosting 2 international rugby legends from the 22nd of March to the 27th. During their visit, a number of events will be taking place to raise the profile of the sport in Belize, including visits to various schools. In addition, Rugby Belize will be hosting an inter-district tournament on March 26th in Belize City. We spoke with Daniel Nicole, the director of Rugby Belize.
We are now playing inter-district tournaments every month, the last Sunday of every month, and we'll be playing that around Belize, around the districts. The tournament we've got this weekend is going to be in Belize City at MCC, and kick-off is at 11 o'clock. So there's an organisation based in the UK which is 100 legends, World 100 Rugby Legends, and they are retired international players. So we've got 2 over here this week. We've got Darren Morris, who used to represent Wales and the British Isles Lions, and we've got Lee Mears, who again used to represent England and also the British Isles Lions. So those guys are over here to help us promote and grow the sport within Belize. Some of the activities we're going to be doing, we'll be working with some of the schools. So we're going to be working with Belize Elementary School, we're going to be working with Stella Maris School, and we're also going to be working with the Sacred Heart School up in San Ignacio. We are an organisation set up with former internationals from around the world who had an idea and inspiration to give back to the sport, which has given us so much. And what that means is working with different charities, going to different countries around the world, giving the rugby, trying to grow the game of rugby from grassroots in particular, where we can use a lot of experience and hopefully named and experienced, and hopefully that can bring some financial help towards different organisations, charities, all in the name of giving back to communities and giving back through the sport.
When we return, World Down Syndrome Day observed with mismatched socks to reflect appearance of chromosomes.
When you look at unemployment, no matter which threshold they use, it was lower. In 2018, 2019, it was at 4%. It's at 5% now. Do the numbers.
Let's do the numbers using facts. These are the unemployment figures under the UDP. At no time did unemployment fall below 6.6%. Not even before COVID. That is a fact. In October 2022, the last labor force survey showed that unemployment was at 5%. That is a fact, and facts matter. Your government delivering on Plan Belize.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League. On Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
At SMART, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, Our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Today was observed as World Down Syndrome Day with the theme With Us, Not For Us, to honor the people who have more challenges and disabilities in life. It was set aside some years ago by UNICEF to honor their right to fair treatment and equal opportunities to improve their lives. Today, the message was no different. In fact, the date is significant, as were the brightly colored mismatched socks that people wore, which resemble the 3 copies of the 21st chromosome that people with Down syndrome have. We stopped by Stella Maris School and the Ministry of Education's Special Education Unit right across on Freetown Road to find out how the day went for the children at these institutions. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
Down syndrome is defined as a genetic occurrence that results in an extra copy of chromosome 21. And as a show of support to those people and the challenges they face with daily routines, today people who have those challenges, their teachers, relatives and friends wore bright mismatched socks, which actually look like the DS chromosome. Over at Stella Maris, everyone took to the idea in a fun kind of way.
We just bring them out and we have probably the school do a round of applause for them, and most of them are wearing their socks today. Not only students with Down syndrome but also other students here. Most of them here then, some of them forgot about the day.
Teacher Sherry Salgado says there is a hidden message to the socks as well.
I just believe the awareness wearing the socks today is just showing that everybody is accepted, you know, even if it's different, if it's something mismatching, we are still apart, we're still humans. So I guess that's the message behind wearing our socks today.
The Ministry of Education's Special Education Unit on Freetown Road works closely with children who have physical or cognitive challenges. Christy Almeida, who heads that unit, told us that they're having a week of fun activities.
I don't know if you've seen the story when Downs is up.
We launched it in honor of World Down Syndrome Day, and we're focusing on 3 kids with Down syndrome, actually young adults. So I'd encourage everyone to go see that. So that just has me really happy today because we are focusing on the positives. And some other positives that are happening at special ed right now is all our officers are attending a training. We have a professional who has worked with the visually impaired and the deaf for years, has a specific curriculum and whatever, and we keep trying to build our officers' capacity. They all have masters in special ed. They're all really strong officers, but they can always learn more. So we have them here. We have some participants from BCVI and Mr. Cole from Inspiration Center. We invited them to take part, so they're doing that today.
Almeida explained that in an effort to build the students' capacity, there is a new curriculum that has been introduced in several schools this year.
We're really focusing on the Essential for Living curriculum. We started that this year, and we've had some pilot schools. Stella Maris is one pilot school, Ranchito Special Classroom in Corozal, Holy Ghost in Dangriga, United Evergreen in Garden City in Belmopan, Julian Cho in PG. So across the country, we've selected a couple schools to pilot this. And this is, again, very individualized. So every student will be screened, and depending on where they are, that will help develop exactly where we're working for independent living, for a job if they can. So some of these kids might not be able to speak or be potty trained, so they will start with these really must-have skills, etc. Some of the kids might be better academically and whatever, and then so they will work on these skills that's broken down.
Special Education Officer with the Ministry of Education, Chantel Yearwood, explained how the unit and the 15 education officers who work there monitor the teacher-student interaction in the classroom.
All of us are assigned to classrooms, and we have schools assigned. In the case of Stella Maris, I am assigned 2 classrooms. In my classroom, one classroom in particular, I have students with profound disabilities. There are a mix of disabilities in my classrooms that I have. I have students with autism, students who are visually impaired, students with intellectual impairment, students with Down syndrome. So we've been working a lot on IEPs. We've just started that. Teachers are being immersed in working with IEPs, understanding what an IEP is, which is an individual education plan. What that means is that each student has particular goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, and the teachers get them to progress towards those goals.
Whatever physical or life skills goals the students have individually, they will learn inside the classroom. And the fun a day like today offers gives everyone a chance to wear big, colorful, mismatched socks as a welcome event each year. But on a serious note, a lot of these children endure abuses that their physical and cognitive challenges might make difficult for them to explain. But there are signs that these teachers look for.
In each class, we have our morning sessions whereby we know our students. We know if they're happy. We know if something is bothering them. Usually some of us will start our morning with talking about their emotions. And if you're a vigilant teacher, you will notice that something is wrong with that child. So we'll probably pull that child, we have a whole class discussion and just monitor that child for the week or for the day. If we notice that there is no changes in that child, then we pull them. We have our counselor here. We pull that child, we question because we know that something is behind their sadness or their emotions, and we do what we have to do to help our students in that capacity.
Is there ever a time you need to call in on human development?
Yes, we do. We do, and they're always helpful. They will come whenever we call them, and they will take it over if something that is beyond the principal or the teacher's control.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
The Special Education Unit in the Ministry of Education has been undergoing a remodeling of sorts to maximize the training that teachers receive in special education, as well as the lessons that children who need those services receive. Today, program coordinator of that unit, Christy Almeida, shared what priority areas have been identified and already addressed as a part of that transition.
We've been doing a lot of remodeling with the Special Education Unit. You've noticed we're not really using NARCI anymore. We're using special ed because we're really just focusing on making some significant changes. One of the requests from families are the lack of services in the country. They need speech therapy. They need behavior therapy. That's really hard when we only have one speech and language pathologist in this country, where we don't have certified BCBAs or occupational therapists. We signed a memorandum of agreement a year ago with Therapy Adventures, and they send therapists who are based here for about 6 months. They have the option to sign on for a year, and this started last year, January. So we are on our 3rd cohort of teams, and we remodeled our special education units. So now they're little cubicles to do behavior therapy. There's an OT gym, and they work there. We have to triage. It's not enough to reach the entire country. So they evaluate kids, and those who are at the most extreme needs sort of get in first. There's a wait list, but these therapists have been really doing good about providing support across the country. So our speech and language pathologist, for example, does sessions every single Monday on Zoom to encourage all the families who are using the tablet to talk, for those kids who have limited or no communication. So every Monday at 6 o'clock, these parents who've gotten the tablet, have the app with their kids, teachers their kids are in the classroom using it, can sign in every single Monday to work with that. The behavior therapist is offering a Zoom course to teachers and parents across the country on Thursday. So we're trying again to just do as much with what we have. We're really trying to work smart. So now this is not just a special education unit, but there is a clinic where we're trying to provide some services for our kids.
Up next, Uno gas station launches new Dynamax Plus fuel.
There is one other massive, though often overlooked, antidote to poverty, and that's land. Whether for a home, a small farm, or simply as an asset to be leveraged for greater financial independence, a parcel of land can be a gateway out of poverty. And that is why, with support from the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Natural Resources is spearheading a survey and distribution program for almost 11,000 parcels in areas all across the 6 districts of this country. Final surveys have been funded and are almost completed.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security?
This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be between the ages of 14 and 65. You must be employed when you got sick. You must be an insured contributor. Have made 50 paid contributions. Have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 4 days of the first day of illness.
Thanks, I get it now.
Social Security, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart. This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambokan, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Madisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
When you look at unemployment, no matter which threshold they use, it was lower in 2018, 2019. It was at 4%. It's at 5% now. Do the numbers.
Let's do the numbers using facts. These are the unemployment figures under the UDP. At no time did unemployment fall below 6.6%, not even before COVID. That is a fact. In October 2022, the last labor force survey showed that unemployment was at 5%. That is a fact, and facts matter. Your government delivering on Plan Belize.
If you are the owner of a motor vehicle, you would at some point in time be advised to include a fuel additive to help with the performance of the vehicle as it burns fuel. It also helps with the maintenance of the vehicle's engine. Well, today, Rugby Belize officially launched its new package of additives, Dynamax Plus, a new formula which they say will reduce friction between critical parts of the engine and will increase the power and performance of motor vehicles. The media was invited to the launch, and News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus.
Rugby Belize has 18 gas stations across the country, and since the beginning of the year, it has transitioned its fuel products with what it says is the ultimate technology in additives. According to the company, Dynamax Plus will remove the deposits in the critical parts of the engine and maintain the engine at its best.
We are adding this new additive into our fuels. It's called Dynamax Plus, and it's going to add that plus that you need in your fuels. So we're adding the additive, the Dynamax Plus. We're adding that into our fuels, to the diesel, to the regular, and to the premium. So once you get our fuels, you're gonna feel that plus, and that's why we say it's gonna be the A+, and it's A+ performance and it's A+ power, because you're gonna feel the difference in the power and in the performance of your vehicle. They go into the store and they buy that additive, and as soon as they finish up adding the fuel, or even before, they add this additive. But we already have done that for you guys in our Uno gas stations, and I mean, it's not necessary. People still, in some, I've seen it doing it, but then I go to them and I explain them that our fuels already have that additive, and it's not necessary. I mean, they can still do it, but it's not necessary. So you just have to live the experience.
The exclusive additive is available in all fuels and provides cleanliness and power to the engine at no extra cost to the consumer. General Manager Jose Mayen says that Dynamax Plus transforms the energy of the fuels so that customers can go further with less fuel consumption.
You want your fuel economy. You want to take care of your vehicle. Say, for example, if you have a vehicle and you want to take care of it, you want to give it the best fuel that you have. So that's what we have been working on in our gas stations. We have to take care of our customers and adding that plus value to our customers. So we're adding that additive into our fuel. That way our customers can get that differentiated value for the same price, because we're not charging any additional. They're getting, for the same price, they're getting better product. And when you go to a gas station, I mean, you have to try it and experience it and make sure that it's for real, what I'm saying. So please go to our gas stations, try it out, and it's in the three fuels that we sell. So if your vehicle is regular and you usually use regular, keep using it and go to our gas station, Uno gas station, fill it up, try it at least 2 or 3 times, and you should feel the difference, because the additive is going to start cleaning your engine. The friction is going to improve, and you're going to get better mileage on your vehicle.
Uno is the brand with the largest network of gas stations across Belize. It has presence in 6 countries, majority in the Central American region.
Uno is all over Central America, and we also have some gas stations also in Colombia. Well, and we go all the way from Costa Rica all the way up to Guatemala and Belize. So we're well represented. We know our job. We know what we do. So we have a lot of gas stations, and we're trying to take care of our customers and give that plus value to the product that you guys are getting in the gas stations.
So you're saying Uno should be the preferred?
Yes, it should be. Is it yours? I mean, it's great fuel. So you should try it and live the experience for you.
New Uno powered with Dynamax Plus. A plus performance. A plus power. Dynamax Plus.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.